Hey, it's Matt. Welcome back. And this is lot number 3. If you didn't watch my last video and the video before that, this one's kind of tied into that, more so the last video than the first video. But this was the same auction, just a third lot. A lot of brake tools in this one, and there were a couple of brake tools in the other one, I believe. So let's take a look at this one. I paid 45 bucks for this one after fees and everything. So let's take a look, see if I did a good job. I think I did okay on this one. Let's start from the left as usual. This whole row right here of little pliers and cutters is just all garbage. The top 3 are Husky. This one, I don't even know what it is. There's no name on it, and for good reason. I want you to take a look at that. Look, that's how that closes. Look at the alignment of that thing. I mean, this thing is like brand new. That's the way it came. Like, I don't get it. So, yeah, those are all junk. This row is a Snap-on, 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 and a Utica, and this is a Utica as well. These are in pretty good shape, little snippers. E709 Snap-on, in good shape. I haven't tried to cut anything with them yet, but I think they'll work just fine. And then these 2 little pliers, one of them I can read the Snap-on on, and the other one I can't, but I'm going to go ahead and say that these are Snap-on right here, just because of the way that they are. You can look at the way this sweep goes on here. You can see it looks the same. The way this is cut out, it's all the same, so it should say Snap-on right there. I can't see anything on there. Can you? I can't, but just by the way they're made, I'm going to say that's a Snap-on as well. They're a little tight. They could use some lube, but nothing that can't be fixed. So those are worth some money there. They're all in good shape. Whatever, the teeth are good on them. These are kind of cool, little jewelers, little pliers, and you can barely read it, but Utica, and it says 21. So 21-4, and those are really tight. They need some work, but I think those will clean up nicely. And I really like these little guys. I got another pair of these. They don't have the grips on them. They might be earlier. But we got a pair of Utica 517-5. And those are pretty cool. They feel really good. They have a JB. A lot of this stuff has a JB scribed into there, but they feel really nice. They work really nice. Teeth are excellent on them, so that is definitely a score. I really like those. We got some mystery tools. These 2 little things, I don't know what these are. There's a part number. I looked them up. I can't find anything on it. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. J8966 KMO. I think the only thing I could find was that was Kentmore, but I don't know if that's accurate. USA. Don't know. Maybe it's some sort of trim tool. No idea. But if somebody knows, I'll sell one of them and keep the other one if I think I'm ever going to use it. This, I don't know how this works, but this is allegedly some sort of brake pad spreader tool, so I'll have to watch some videos and see, you know, what kind of tomfoolery it takes to get this thing to work, but I usually just use a C-clamp. But anyway, alright, let's get on to these drivers here. We have 2 Stanley, a T20 and a T15 in fairly decent shape. So I couldn't pass that by with those in there. Those look really nice ends on them. So again, a T20 and a T15, and we'll do a hole fill-in right live while we do it. I have a T30 and a T20. The T20 is a little dingy, so we'll put that one in a different lot, but this one is in a little worse shape, but it might clean up, and I can stick that T30 with that set. So we're growing on the set of those Stanleys. Right next to that, we have a Whia T10, which I don't have any T10 torques. And again, you know, these kind of tie in with that last lot. I had that Snap-on T8, that little Snap-on T8, and these, and I think this was from the same JB person here. We have this screwdriver here, which is got some black mold on it, so I'm going to try not to handle it that much, but I don't know, usually a Klein or a Stanley, I don't know, I have to do some more investigating. on this fluting and stuff and these ridges in here to figure out exactly what it was. Clean it up. Maybe I could pull that rubber off. Maybe it says underneath there. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Got this general little flat blade, long, skinny flat blade. So that's a cool little screwdriver. I think I have a smaller one of those at work. I think I got one of those somewhere else. This I looked up, but I forgot what brand it was. I think it was a Bonnie, come to think of it. We're upside down again. A USA 0671. So I think that is a Bonnie, if I remember correctly. And then just a little cheapo one of them. We got this cool Vaco, which I gave you a sneak peek of in the last video. And that's a pretty nice little hold a screw style screwdriver. I got a couple of these in those, I don't know, I forget what brand it was, from Salt Lake City or whatever of these. But now I have a Vaco, and I thought I had a shorter Vaco too. I'm gonna have to look in my box and see if I got a shorter one of these. I'm pretty sure I got another one of those. All right, what else do we have? We're gonna get to these last. I guess we could talk about this little guy here. That's a Sears Craftsman. It's a WF. Come on, get in there. 4110. Is that what it is? And it's just kind of this offset flat blade screwdriver kind of deal. And then over here we have some brake tools, just some specialty brake tools, which I have done drum brakes hundreds of times, and I've never used any of these tools. To do said drum brakes, I usually just use a flat blade screwdriver and a pair of vice grips, and then bust my knuckles and swear a bunch. But now I don't have to do that anymore. I don't even know how these work properly. I mean, I kind of do have somewhat of an idea, but I'm gonna have to watch some videos, because I've just gotten in there, you know, down and dirty, and never used the proper tools for it. So I'll have to do some investigating. But what we have here is a Dura Chrome. And it only says it on this socket, but I looked it up, and that's what it is, a Dura Chrome 2126. And these are for drum brakes, for the springs and stuff. And this is for the spring, I believe, that holds the pad onto the shoe onto the whatever plate back there. And this is for the springs that tie those pads together, I think. I don't know. Again, never used it. This right here, Snapon, basically the same thing as the end on there is on this. And then it's kind of just got a pry off tool for the springs on there. It's a Snapon BT11. I would imagine that stands for Brake Tool 11. Yep, wear safety goggles. And I think we had a date code on there. Where is it? Where did it go? Where are you? Oh, there you are. It's got that E on there. 1983 is the vintage on that one. And then these aren't really brake tool. They're kind of a dust cap grease cap removal tool. So that's kind of cool. They're a little rusty, but you know, they might have some value to these if they're cleaned up. Again, I've never used a dust cap removal tool. My tool is a hammer. And again, a flat blade screwdriver. And as well as this one. This is the brake adjuster tool. There's usually an access port on the back of your drum plate where you can pull this little rubber plug out, and you kind of get in there with this, I guess, with your whatever tool, and you adjust your rear brakes. And again, I've never used one of these. I just use a flat blade screwdriver. KD2, what does that say? 287, I think that's what it is. 287 USA. So cool, another brake tool. And another one. Again, I have no idea exactly how you use this tool or what it's for. But we got a Matco RST10. So that's cool. Between all these brake parts, I think I definitely made my money back on it. I got some Snap-on little pliers and cutters, some nice looking Stanley Torx drivers, and the bonus, these weird tools that I have never seen before and that I can't find anywhere on the interwebs. If anyone knows, these Matco tools right here. And I thought initially they were scrapers and that somebody modified this one, but As I look a little closer, it doesn't appear that somebody modified this thing, that it is just from the factory. This is the way it is. It had this notch cut out in it. You can see that it just appears to be factory, that nobody just took a grinder and did that on purpose, you know, like it looked like this one. It is strange, however, that they both have the same part number, SP8, which again I typed in the Google machine and got nothing, nowhere, zilch, nada. I typed in Matco specialty brake tool because, you know, we got a lot of brake tools here. Maybe it was a brake tool. Nothing. I typed in Matco, you know, electric terminal tool because we had a lot of terminal tools in the other one. Nothing. So I don't know. I'm just at a loss of words. So, and these are kind of strange too because they have the Snapon style date code numbers on there. So 1985 and 1988. So yeah, very, very strange. Again, get a look at those. I thought they might have been scrapers, but this is a flat edge on there. I can see how maybe this one could be used to get a, you know, the wire connectors off. That'll kind of index in the little groove of the wire connector and then pop it up maybe. I don't know. But that one doesn't have a groove in it. Is it just kind of a more basic one? I don't know, folks. Help a guy out. Help a brother out. I don't know. But those are definitely cool. Probably fairly rare if I can't find anything on them. I searched the completed listings on YouTube and everything. Nothing. And that's little eye thing where you take the picture of it and try to search for a similar picture. That does nothing. I get Phillips flatheads. I get whatever. That doesn't do a thing. So other really, really cool and probably a little rare is this little stubby Matco. And this thing is just awesome. SDS M83? Is that an 83? Yep. It's got the cap on it and everything. It's a little dingy, but I think I can clean this thing up to look pretty nice. Again, I have no way of knowing if these are the original tips. It says USA on it. It says a P2. Is that a 2? Is that a 3? I don't know. That looks like it. Nope, it's a 3. That's a 3, and then I think there's a 2 down in here that I don't think it says USA on it. And there's a magnet. It's got a magnet down in there to hold the bits in it. And oh, it's an Irwin PH2. So we got a USA 3 and then an Irwin PH2, which probably is a USA. Maybe we'll just say it is. But probably not the original one that went in there. So that's cool. I got myself a nice little Matco stubby. So I think that's cool. I'm not going to really have any wrap-ups on here other than what I showed you earlier with the T30 Stanley to go with those two there. The rest of this stuff is kind of just bonus. I got a set of brake, you know, drum brake tools here, and I think that's for disc brake pad spreader. I don't know. These are all foreign. I'm a backwoods mechanic. I just do stuff, you know, in the middle of the road, on the side of the road, in a field, you know, stuff like that. So I'm not used to specialty tools, so I'm gonna learn though. I'm gonna use some of them. What do you think? 45 bucks? I think I made out pretty good on this one. Let's see, do I have anything lined up for next week? I don't think so. Try to get some thrift stores and maybe some rummage sales before the snow starts flying here, but thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, have a good one.